Mi365 Podcasts with me, Pete Cohen. Hi, it's Pete Cohen here and welcome to another Mi365 Podcast. Before we start the podcast, why don't you head over to mi365.me. That's mi365.me and register and get involved in 365 days of free life coaching with me, Pete Cohen. Now today it's a special day, it's a special week. Mi365 is 6 months old, and what I would like to do is to tell you how you can get involved in really making your life everything that you want it to be and more. But before I tell you about that, I'd love to tell you guys how this all happened, because we've been doing this for a while now and it's really changing people's lives, and it's probably a little bit bigger and better than I actually thought it was going to be. But look, let me tell you how this happened. We started doing this about a year ago, actually. And what happened was a friend of mine said to me, "Hey, Pete, you should check out Periscope." And I was like, yeah. By the way, for those of you that don't know what Periscope is, it's a social media app, which is like having your own television channel. You go live, and everyone that follows you on Twitter, anyone who follows you on Periscope, they get sent a notification and they can watch you. But I was skeptical about doing it, but my friend Ben Davis had told me about Twitter years ago, and I kind of just ignored him. You know, the fact that I've now got 10,000 followers on Twitter, I probably could have had 100,000 if I'd taken his advice back then. So I thought, okay, he's giving me this information, I'll have a go. So I just played around with it, downloaded the app, went live on Periscope. It sent a message to everyone that was following me on Twitter. Before I knew it, I started interacting with people. And it was kind of fun, and I was walking down the garden path and I said, "Hey, I'm just going to tell you a tale of a life coach." And that's what I called it this time last year, Tales of a Life Coach. And I was broadcasting at kind of odd times. And then in September last year, I thought, no. I'm going to start doing this a little bit properly, because my mission in life is to help people. That's what I want to do. I believe that there's more to us than meets the eye. I believe that all of us probably needs help, at least at one point in our life, coaching. I've been coached by one of the top coaches in the world. So I know the value that can place on people's lives. So I thought, no, I'm going to show up. So I started showing up every single day, pretty much at 7 a.m. And it really took off. And we really started positively impacting the lives of many people. One person in particular actually is a guy called Stefan, who actually was looking for some help. He was kind of struggling in his life. He thought, you know what? I need some life coaching. So he was playing around with Periscope and found me by accident. And he was someone who could see that what I was doing was genuine, it was free, it was the real deal. So he thought, I'm going to commit to this. And his life has changed beyond recognition. And it's not just him. We have so many people now who have realized the joy of taking control of your life, the joy of investing in your own personal and professional development. So in January this year, I changed the name from Tales of a Life Coach to Mi365. And what that really stood for me was for everyone else's me, which is you, working on yourself for 365 days. So I decided to make a commitment to people who wanted help to be there for them every day at 7 a.m. on Periscope and on Facebook, unless I'm on a plane. And we've been doing it for 6 months, and the results they're kind of off the charts. And what we're doing this week, when most of you will be listening to this, is we've reviewed what we've achieved in 6 months, and now we're ramping it up. So we're going to be helping people work out what it is that they want, the goals that they want to achieve. We're also helping people figure out the best way for them to get it. We're also looking at all of the different areas that people might want help with, which obviously are things like their health, their fitness, their well-being. We're also helping people mentally with their commitment, their confidence, their self-belief, their determination. We're helping people with their financial goals, their business goals. Because what happens is that so many people just amble through life and don't have a big why, a big goal. And we are what's called, the Greeks call teleological beings. We're target focused. For so many people, they just get out of bed every day and they just make the most of that day without being driven to success, without being driven to doing something amazing. Because when you look at the purpose of being on this earth, We all maybe have different ones, but when you find people who are perhaps the happiest, the most successful, is that they had a purpose, a burning desire. And many of you know my favorite book ever written, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He talks about that being the key principle. And I want to help as many people as I can find out where their unique gifts are and help them to increase or turn up the burning desire to do something. And in most cases, so many of us get fulfillment out of adding value and helping others. And one of the best ways to do that is for us to go first. You see, if you thought of yourself now, this is draw a line of where you are and then imagine a line above it. And this is where you are and this is where you want to be. And in the middle is where your potential is, your potential to achieve what it is that you want. But also there is your fears, your worries, your doubts, your laziness, your bad habits. But if you commit to filling in that gap between where you are and where you want to be, you'll realize that life is pretty amazing. And what Mi365 podcasts are all about is what I've done is thought, well, wouldn't it be great for you guys to be able to hear other people's stories? Because listen, you've got a story to this point. And if you thought of your life like a book that's got writing on it up until this page, tomorrow it's a blank page. But if you're not careful, you're going to bring what's happened to you into today and to the next day. And that's not to say that everything that's happened to you is bad, but do you believe that you have more potential? Do you believe your best days are ahead of you? Do you believe that there's something inside you that perhaps you haven't really tapped into? So when you listen to the stories of people that we've interviewed, people like Dr. Bob Bukowski, Stephen McEwen, who right now is running around the whole of Ireland doing 60 ultra marathons in 6 days, or people like Joe DeSana, or gold medalist Karen Dark, Stephen Hughes Landers, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Tom Heron, Troy Casey, Audley Harrison, Olympic gold medalist, Tim Dingle, Gemma Magnuson, my brother, who's an amazing psychotherapist, and you hear other people's stories. The whole idea is that you can take someone from someone else's story that you can use to enrich your own to create a better today, a better tomorrow, and a better next day. And lastly, the last thing I really want to say to all of you is this. We have developed a community of people from all over the world. Many people watch live our broadcasts, even people in places like Hawaii. But if you can't watch it live, it doesn't matter. My point is this. You will see when you come to our Facebook page, the best way to get involved is to go to mi365.me, mi365.me, register, get involved. It's absolutely free. We'll show you how to join our Facebook page, and you'll see a community of people who are all wanting you to succeed as you will probably want them to succeed as well. It is the best project I've ever been involved in, and believe you me, I've been in many projects in my life, done many things, but this is definitely the best by an absolute mile. I believe we're changing the world. I believe we're making a difference, and I believe this could have a significant impact on your hopes and dreams and ambitions. So take a moment to think about the things that you want to achieve in your life. Mentally, physically, professionally. I dare you to start writing down some of the things you would like. You see, when we dream, we kind of open up parts of our brain that perhaps have been a bit dormant for a while. For so many of us, we just go through each and every day without thinking, there must be more to life than this. You see, when you were a child, you loved it when people read you stories. Can you imagine if your parents had read you a story and they'd said something like, and then Jack woke up the giant and, good night, son. Your son would go, what? No, finish the story. No, son, we'll finish it tomorrow. No, finish it now. You'd want to hear the end of the story. Now, as far as your story and your life is concerned, it hasn't been written yet. But many of us are living a life like it already has. And if we're not careful, where we will be in a year's time or 5 years' time will be in the same place that we are now, just a little bit older. One of the best bits of advice I was ever given was this: observe the masses and do the opposite. So whether you just like listening to our podcast, and believe you me, we've got some amazing ones coming up every single week. But if you want to go that little bit deeper and you want to get coaching for free every single day, just checking in, because how you start the day in many cases is how you do everything. That's another one of my favorite phrases. How you do anything is how you do everything. So tonight, when you look in the mirror before you go to bed, you know, when you look at yourself, there's more that you can do with your health, with your well-being, mentally, physically, whatever. You can create a better future. And I want to be a part of that. I'm here to help. I appreciate every single one of you that's left some amazing testimonials for our podcast. Our podcast has been number one in a number of different rankings all over the world, because everyday people like you have decided to listen and taken the time to leave a review. Let's make the next 6 months incredible, so that when you wake up on January the 1st, 2017, you look at the best version of yourself you have ever seen. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We'll see you soon. Head over to mi365.me and let's take you and your life to the next level. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and if you want more free inspiration to optimize your life so you can achieve your goals in all the different areas of your life, then visit mi365.me. That's mi365.me and sign up to 365 days of free coaching with me, Pete Cohen. Thanks for listening and have an awesome day.